Do you want to know what are 5 things that you need to do in order to not hire me to sell your property? Well, this video is going to actually tell you what those 5 things are. Stay tuned. Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for checking out today's video. We definitely appreciate it. My name is George S. Wonica. I am a local realtor right here in Staten Island, New York. And today's video kind of sounds a little just stupid, right? I'm a local real estate person, but I'm going to tell you the 5 things that you got to do in order to not hire me as a realtor. You want to make sure you stay to the end to see what the last thing is, because the last thing might shock you a little bit. But let's get right into it. Number 5, the first thing that you're going to need to do in order to not hire me as a realtor or a real estate professional is start to understand how the social media platforms work when marketing your property. Now, agents, we have an idea of how those marketing things work. We have an idea of not only from the social media perspective, but also all of the other marketing tools that we use at our disposal. So you've got to make sure that you do enough research and enough time invested into in order to make sure that you know what you're doing in order to get you properly exposed. Number 4. Number 4 is real simple. Like just we talked about social media, we've got to talk about your internet presence. How is your property being found online? What is the reaction that's getting from the general public? All of the other wonderful syndicated websites that are out there, right? We all know them. We're not going to say their names. Zillow stinks. But with that being said, you got to make sure that the property is being exposed, regardless of whether you like the site, whether you don't like the site. One of the sites, though, that you are not going to have access to is the local MLS, where all of these realtors have clients that are looking for properties. So because you're going to be out there completely separate from any of those agents, your property might not be exposed to the best way. But if you don't care about that, then that's fine. Be on those other websites. But you're also limiting your buyer pool off of that main site to just these other syndicated sites. So it's important to understand that, but you want to make sure you have knowledge how those sites work. Number 3, one really, really big key to make sure is, quite frankly, you have a very big understanding of mortgages and the mortgage process. What programs are out there for your property that would fit your property? Can one program be a good fit for your property, and some programs might not? So if you get an offer from somebody, but they're using one of those programs that is not going to work with your property for the variety of different reasons that there are, that's going to cost you time, it's going to cost you money, it's going to cost you effort of your house being off the market, finding out that program is not going to work for your property. Now, again, this is a video about how not to hire us, but your local real estate professional should have basic knowledge of some of those programs that are going to work and not going to work, but more importantly, have contacts with local mortgage providers that would advise them of what problems are going to come up with a specific piece of property. Not every property is going to be able to qualify for a specific mortgage product. It's very important that you all know that. Number 2, the second most important thing that you have to do is essentially, ladies and gentlemen, give up your social life. What? Yeah, because realtors, when we come in to do a property, when you're going to go show a property, if you're not going to be home, how does your property get sold? How does your property get shown to prospective people? People cancel, people don't show at the last minute. All of those things are part of a realtor's job and things that we all deal with. Real estate agents know on a daily basis, we call and confirm. And literally 10 minutes before we're going to go show a piece of property, we get a cancellation. And it happens all the time. So one of the things that you have to know if you're going to sell your own property and not use a real estate professional is goodbye to your social life for an extended period of time until you get your property sold. Now you could say, yeah, George, but you know what? I'm going to show it at my convenience. And I'm going to do open houses. And that's the only time that people can come in and take a look at the property. That's great. But do you think that that's going to be the potentially best option? Because you want more people to be in your house, not less. So if you're only limiting it to a certain amount of time, a certain amount of buyers can come in, you're going to potentially lower the amount of money that you could potentially get, because the more people that are interested means the more offers means competing bids, and go from there. So it's not ideal. But again, these are the things that you have to be concerned about when not hiring a real estate professional, and things that you should learn more about. For exactly what you listened for this video for is the number one thing that if you don't want to hire me as a real estate professional, this is something that you cannot 100% must do. You have to be able to look at your house objectively. You cannot love your house any longer. What? Well, I'm George, I'm moving. That's why I'm moving. No, you could be moving for a lot of different reasons. But ladies and gentlemen, here's the difference between you trying to do this on your own and a professional doing it. This is your property. This is your home. This is where you raised your children. This is where you had many family parties. There are emotional attachments to your home. When somebody comes in with an offer that is not up to your liking, you might get a little agitated. You're going to get emotional. How dare they? Etc., etc., etc. With a professional, we understand the attachment, but it's our job to be able to show you the reasons why offers might be the way that they are, whether you like them or whether you don't. So we are not emotionally attached to the property. What is the one thing that they say about attorneys? An attorney that represents themselves has a fool for a client. If that's the case with attorneys, do you think it should be the case with you representing yourself on the sale? The choice is yours. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for watching today's video on the 5 things you have to do to not hire me as your real estate professional. Hopefully I provided you some value, but more importantly than all of that, let's say after you heard these 5 things, ladies and gentlemen, God, I don't want to do all of those 5 things. And here's what you got to do. You got to give me a call or shoot me an email and say, hey George, I want to sell my property, but I don't want to do those 5 things. And guess what? I will do what I can to try to help you to get you the most amount of money for your property as possible. More videos or anything else, you hit that subscribe and like below. And more importantly than all that, if you want to talk about it, want to hear me talk about a completely different topic, then here's what you got to do. You got to drop a comment below in this video and you got to say, hey George, I want you to talk about this. And we'll get ready to record that content just for you. Please make sure you do something nice for somebody that you wouldn't normally do, and we'll catch you on the next video. Peace.